are live once again. My trusty, my my buffs hat here. What's going on, y'all? It's like these Sundays are coming back to back to back. Time is moving. It's like we just had that old busted up season last year, and it just was getting very sad towards the end. Team was falling apart physically and literally. And we got to see a lot of stuff change over that off season. And the off season kind of slowly transitioned as we got new players, as we got close to the spring, and here we are, guys. We pretty much passed the halfway point of spring. A couple weeks is the spring game. I don't know. Some of y'all may have your tickets. I know the tickets are not moving really, really fast like they expected. Well, you best believe them tickets going to be moving fast when the season starts. I expect a successful season. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I know a lot of things could go wrong, but that's for anybody. I have the belief that Colorado has learned their lesson. Coach Prime is not a dumb man. He's not an inexperienced man at all. Coach Prime is not dumb, and if you really pay attention, I've kind of heard the comment. I've heard the comment from a couple of guys, and I'm gonna tell y'all what's really going on around there. What's going on, Elijah? I'm gonna tell y'all something a lot of people are missing. And this has a lot to do with why they don't see Coach Prime coming. If you pay attention to what's happened on his staff, what's going on, if y'all really pay attention to what's going on in Colorado, look at what's happening. His homeboys are starting to show up and rally around him. I heard the comment. What's going on, KC? Was it what's my guy name? I think it's the new defensive line coach. I don't have all these names going. New defensive line coach, where his boys are saying we was tired. What's going on? What's going on? They couldn't sit back no longer and watch Coach Prime. Damian Lewis. His name. Coach Lewis. They got tired of seeing their homeboy go through it. It's like when you come up with your guy, when people really respect you and they got your back, they don't want to see your name get put to shame. And they feel bad for watching you when they know they can contribute, when they know they can help you. So if you really look at the team, his coaches have rallied around him. He's brought his homeboy, some that coached with him before. He's brought his former receiver coach from JSU, former teammate. He got a lot of experience in pretty much every level. You see Sap did what he had to do to come help him out. We seen some of his friends come back and speak to the team on the last well-off. Man, we starting to see a different type of resource. Last year, a lot of people just there to spectate, just to see it with their own eyes. Everybody was happy for him. But this year, people coming to work. He sliding some guys in these analyst positions. It's like Coach Prime is pretty much saying, if you really look at it, he's pretty much saying, y'all ain't finna get me this year. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do. I'm gonna go and get my homeboy, bring him out of retirement. He got too many connections. He got too much experience on his side that he's played. He's got too many gold jackets. Push come to shove, they will do whatever they have to do to help him win. So it's almost gonna be like, I already see it coming. When we say if and when CU go to winning, everybody gonna go to complaining. It kind of remind me of what happened at Jackson State. I mean, people kept making that comment, but I'm kind of seeing that, but just on a whole different level because Sapp wasn't coming to coach at Jackson State. Let's be real. But it's gonna be like almost like when he whooped people this year. Yeah, they're gonna sneak up on them because when they go to whooping everybody, good morning, Miss Shirley. When they go to whooping everybody this year, it's almost gonna be like I already see the excuse coming because it's looking almost unfair. He's building an all-star team of coaches. He always have, but his players are starting to line up with the coaching quality. And I'm gonna be real with you, they do well this year. That player quality is gonna get real scary for a lot of teams. The lineman quality is only gonna get better from here. He's gonna have multiple top receivers. He's gonna start looking like those big boys, like the Alabamas, real quick. Because once they see he has the staff and the resources in play and he proven himself to win, see, they couldn't bank on last year. But once he run through these people, his picking is gonna be, he's already playing in Texas and Florida. He's in Colorado. He's already playing games in Texas and Florida, and they can go a couple home games. The school just out there, but they playing a lot of teams on the east and in the central area of the country. Got a feeling CU's going to win it. It might try to limit how many NFL. I wouldn't be surprised. NFL coaches can be on the staff. That's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird. they looking. There's no way. Think about it. This is crazy. Nobody can say this. Nobody before Coach Prime could say they had a gold jacket head coach. Very few can even say they had a head coach, a coach on their staff, period, with a gold jacket. This man on went and got two. And T.O. gonna be showing up. So it's like, how many gold jackets he gonna put on? Ed Reed might even show up. I mean, because what I see, what y'all don't pay attention, Coach Prime is really setting a precedence that it's going to be interesting, because a lot of his former, he's showing it can be done, not just as a great football player, but a lot of times you haven't seen a lot of NFL coaches, I'm not coaches, players come back and coach at the college level. Sometimes they'll go back to their old high school and be, I'm back at home. But you really haven't seen a lot of great football players, especially black. Maybe because the opportunity wasn't there in a lot of cases. And we know that to be true because we can look at how many has been a head coach. Yeah, I agree. So when you look at what Coach Prime is also doing and bringing in his homeboys, he's giving them a launch pad, because they have to start off at Little Junebug Creek. Like, the old system gone. He bringing his boys and plugging them in right at the Power 5 level. So when he win, whatever he decides to do, he don't set a foundation for a lot of guys. If he say, I'm only going to coach for 5 more years, all them guys, a lot of these black guys who wouldn't normally, there's no way, Dancy would never have been on a Power 5 from the HBCU. That was doing good for him. At HBCU level, he probably would have stayed in that realm, the circling across the Division I HBCU teams. Or, they sometimes a group of 5 or whatever, you're like, oh, that's good. But to go to a school like Colorado, he's setting you up to go up, because that was your ceiling, and now you're on top of the ceiling. So when you look at, he put Dancy in there, he's brought Sapp in there, he's brought a lot of his homeboys who from FAMU and smaller schools, or who just wasn't coaching. He's setting them up to use this as a floor for them, not a ceiling. They're on the floor, so they can. He's opening the doors for a lot of guys to coach that will be at the group of 5 and Power 5 level. And he's also setting it up where a lot of his fellow NFL alumni, they would have the opportunity to coach at a higher level, because it's disrespectful. And he broke that ceiling. That's why he catch so much. He catch a lot of slack on that, because he didn't supposed to not only coach at that level, because there's very few black people, and you really had to do a lot to be a black coach and coach at that level. You had to coach up under some guys for years. And he was able to become a head coach. Not only become a head coach, but do it in a matter of a few years. And he's a door opener. So now you're hearing like, oh, Cam Newton want to coach. Oh, Ray Lewis want to coach. And I don't know how true that is, but I do know that he is showing them how to do it. So he got his own team. Now he bringing his homeboys on his staff. Now they like, oh, sure, this is possible. So now, even if him not coaching, he is a pioneer and he is an advocate. I just seen, was it Hines? Was it what was it, Hines Ward? Was it? It might have been Hines Ward down coaching wide receiver coach at Arizona State. You would think, like, darn, why hasn't this been happening? They ain't even tried, these guys. But now you look at Coach Prime, you starting to see great players doing what they should have been doing. But maybe the opportunity wasn't there. Now everybody looking for that next Coach Prime. And it's really open up a lot of opportunities. So you're gonna see some stuff because he bringing these boys on his staff, and I can see if other guys get in, they gonna bring some guys on their staff too. They just don't have a relationship. So you imagine as coach Sapp end up being a D-line coach, he work his way up. He end up being somebody head coach. What if Sapp end up being a head coach after doing this for a few years? Maybe he go down to a lower level, but he a head coach. He just cut years of whatever he had to do because he started at Colorado. And he ain't gonna go down too far because he's Sapp. But I'm gonna say, even if he went to a group of 5, it's like he has expedited his journey. If that's what he wants to do, he's expedited his opportunities on a whole nother level. Spring games boring. Let's be real. Spring games typically are boring. Nobody's ever really paid attention to spring. Only real fans paid attention to spring games. Spring games has never been something that people really cared about, unless you were just a real enthusiast and you didn't have nothing to do that Saturday. And that's the thing about what Coach Prime is bringing. That was probably the most watched by far spring game. Then you add to the fact he know how to bring that entertainment factor around it. So he's bringing concerts and stuff. He's bringing like a homecoming feel, like a spring homecoming. It's like this would be a good time for people who can't go back in the fall or whatever. They go in the spring, and they bringing all these alumni in, and they bringing all these concerts. Now the spring game is like a spring homecoming because they're gonna have so much more going on. So he's bringing what's normally boring, because spring is normally boring. CU spring will be boring also, other than concerts. I mean, one thing about CU, it's not gonna be as boring as everybody else game, because like look how he turned the game last year. Last year was so they watered it down. First of all, they didn't know they were going to play. It was so much snow. Then Coach Prime, being who he is, he just made it entertaining. He went up and down, and they made the most boring game look fun. They was doing kickoffs, and it was like a practice. But everybody was just so excited. The energy is there. The energy is created by you. The energy is created by the fans. You could be in the stands and make that spring game fun with the music and stuff that you don't normally do in a regular game. I watched you game. The quarterback is bad, bro. Threw 3 interceptions with no press from him. Yeah, I mean, everybody's still working, but I mean, I think when it comes to CU, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think when it comes to CU, everybody always try to over elevate their competition, but they minimize CU. It's like, oh, but they're great. The only reason they're great is because you wants to elevate them above CU to make CU look small. In the same time, Shador's not all that. Travis not all that. Well, y'all lines suck. It's like you don't give them credit for nothing, but you get it. And that's what I would respect Utah more. But I think when it comes to like comparing to Colorado, people like give too much glory and too much esteem to Utah. Utah's not that great. They're a decent team, but when you gotta elevate them to make Colorado look bad, you're overdoing it. And the reality is you're not as good as you say you are, especially when it comes to Colorado, because you're already minimizing Colorado. I know Colorado's really good, but when you put a target on your back, you're not the champion. Guys really come at you with crazy. Well, they're gonna come at Colorado anyway. You ain't gotta put no target on your back. Because Colorado got to do what they got to do to sell them tickets. Colorado got to do what they got to do to get the eyeballs, because that's what they had. They didn't have a world beater program. Their program wasn't hitting on nothing. So Coach Prime had to bring that spotlight to get the recruits to want to come there. I mean, that's recruiting. He already told you he's recruiting. How could he recruit to Colorado, boring, no diversity? I mean, it's not a party school from compared to other schools, even though they might be. Now that we're well off of showing it. But I mean, Colorado just was a city, a town, not a big town, not a well-known town. The football program is not known like it used to be. It's a very smart school, academic school. So a lot of the reputation around it was just boring. So Coach Brown, he brought the flavor, he brought the spotlight. You can't be mad. I mean, and he's not afraid of the smoke. So he just gonna adjust to it. But I do believe that they're gonna come at him anyway because they want to. Everybody want to beat them because that's them beating the greatest football player of all time, pretty much, Coach Prime. And at least that their coaches are aiming at him because you know everybody want to be the guy to beat, and nobody want to be the guy to lose to him. Let one go into the portal. Mm, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people may go in the portal. But I think their main pieces are in place. The system was set up to keep former black NFL players out. Yeah, they got an equal. What's left for white? Yeah, yeah. I think it's an intimidating factor. I mean, that's common sense because if you just all the guys who really not athletic, who really didn't make it to the NFL, that's like their stomping ground. That's like their hate. That's like their domain to be. I'm a great football coach. I maybe wasn't a great football player. I'm a great coach. So if you let the great players come back and take over the coaching too, you're right. It leaves them no room. Now they whoop you on the field and then they whoop you off the field. So what we got to do, y'all go be great. Don't come back down to college. Y'all just keep on going. Matter of fact, we'll let y'all be TV analysts, but don't threaten us because y'all got all the experience. Y'all got the talent. And not all of you are great coaches. Not all you want to be coaches. But you got to think about how many players come out of NFL every year. How many players go in? So that level of playing, that level of training has some value. Even the fact that you accomplished it and you can show somebody that way. You can show them the ropes. So if you have somebody who's done that and even half of them say, I want to go back and coach, that's going to take a lot of coaching positions away from those guys who their only hope in being around football is to coach it. So it's definitely intimidating to that guy. But I think they have a place, but I think they definitely want to keep them in check because they have a place for you on that staff. But again, see, Coach Prime is special. He ain't got nothing to prove. He's proved it on the field, so he don't have to have no ego. When you look at the fact, I wanted to have my Twitter. When you look at the fact that Coach Prime, let me see, can I say something? I left my poor Twitter out. I left my Twitter people out here. When you look at the fact he can bring a Warren Sapp, another gold jacket, what head coach would do that? Look how risky that is. Even a defensive coordinator without the right leadership and the right mindset, it can be intimidating to bring a guy who's lower than you, who's really more experienced than you, and probably no more than you in a lot of ways. And for you to be like, I'm the man, you believe me. You know, the typical person had an attitude. Coach Prime is securing himself where he can bring another gold jacket on and not be worried about that person knowing more than him or taking over. He can bring other people who've been head coaches longer than him, college level, pro level, and you know he has to be a secure person and a respectable person because now somebody who's more experienced than him coaching wise has to coach under him. So for them to be comfortable with that, he has to be they had some conversations with them. He has to be showing them the respect that's due. And when you got a culture like that, that's why I say they don't see Colorado coming because that's a powerful thing. You got Coach Prime not afraid to bring coaches in with more experience than him. And vice versa, those coaches who got more experience than him don't see themselves too high and mighty to coach up under this new coach. And then maybe had a touch of that last year. But he bring these guys in who respect him as a person. It's more than just my title. We finna win together, whatever it look like, however it look. That's what it looks like. They saying whatever we got to do to win, that's what we about to do. And so, if everybody take that attitude on, I'm telling y'all, man, there's no limit to this team. Once this team start to put their mind together, not just the players but the coaches, and this is some stuff that I'm seeing. I'm seeing a winning attitude starting to ooze. I'm not talking about well off edited. I'm just in any little intricate clip that you look at, you're starting to see a winning attitude. A winning attitude is not what you say. It's almost just like it oozes out of you. It's like I refuse to lose. I'm gonna compete. You get me this play, I get you the next play. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You starting to see that the coaches compete. Pay attention to what all the coaches are mouthing off at each other and competing as hard as the players. So what? How do you expect that not to trickle down to the players? The coaches is going at it not like they're not liking each other, but they these are guys again. These are the caliber guys, and a lot of these guys played in the NFL. Look at his staff. Most of his staff, outside of some of the guys he brought with him, the staff that he's brought on since he's been in Colorado, all them guys don't been at NFL level, whether they played at NFL or they coached at NFL level. The only people who ain't been at the NFL level is Coach Hart. Coach Hart and I don't know. I even think Coach Flea, I think he played. I know Mathis played. Longhart, he just came in. He's an NFL guy. Then we got Shermer and Livingston. They're NFL coaches. The people not paying attention to what's going on. He's going into overkill. And the last time I seen him go into overkill, that's when they killed everybody at Jackson State. On a bad day, they beat you by 14, 21 points. Playing a bad game. He's going into overkill. He's going to overdrive because it got to be at some point the level of skill and experience kicks in. It's got to be at some point where if you even had enough talent in your pinky or your pinky toe that Sap had, that it becomes an advantage to you. It's not just his name, the nuggets he can share. Like I saw him showing, I don't know who was it, Matt Neal. He was showing them like, why are you trying to rip through one arm and just dancing? He said, why don't you just use the other arm and push it off? And it was like, duh. He's like, y'all are doing all that. I see people do that all the time. They trying to rip through and the guy arm across him. He said, why don't you just why don't you rip and push with the other arm? I was like, dang, that makes sense. That make a whole lot of sense to me. And that's coming from a guy who mastered it. And I like that because I say the same thing about tackling through a stiff arm. I would love to do a breakdown. I was like, why y'all keep getting stiff arm? Now I know you're a brute beast and against a little DB 150 pounds soaking wet, he got a problem because the guy arm way more than him. I'm not talking about Derrick Henry versus a Pee-wee football player. There's not much he can do. But it's man to man. Y'all about the same size. Why are you trying to tackle through a stiff arm? I have the same philosophy. If you put your stiff arm out there, you got the ball in his hand, the stiff arm out here. You have no protection. You got the audacity to stiff arm me. You should be afraid for your life if you stiff arm me. And you got one arm and I got two. That's what I feel. There's no way I'm running to you and you got your arm. You showing me you gonna stiff arm me. It ain't like you got enough sense to hide it. But you stiff arm me. You throw that stiff arm out at me. I'm gonna grab that arm with both my hands. I'm gonna grab your arm and I'm gonna slingshot your behind. And you better let go of the football or you finna break the whole other side of your body. You better let go of that football to brace yourself because you have no brace. You got the ball in this arm and your arm out this way. If I get your arm, I'm going to do whatever I want to you with that arm. If I want to take your arm and slam your head through the ground, which I'm going to do, you better let go of that ball and brace for your life or else I'm going to shatter that whole left side. And you're going to let go of the ball anyway. So you will never stiff arm me again. Or I'm going to take your arm, I'm going to pull you to me. I'm going to pull you to me. How you going to resist me? You got a stiff arm. If I pull you to me versus try to push into you, I'm going to pull you to me. You better let go of that ball. You know why? Because my other arm going to come right through with the clothes on. And I'm going to take your head off. And this ain't philosophy. I don't did it. I'm going to pull you in and I'm going to come across as I pull you in with the other arm right across your neck. I'm gonna clothesline a mess out of you. You're gonna think I'm The Rock on WWE or something. Your feet coming off the ground. I'm gonna pull you. I'm gonna come across that inside, and I'm gonna Bobby Boucher your behind. And that's how I see. Like, that's just my philosophy. Simple stuff. And then why are y'all trying to reach around, stiff arm it all in your face? You trying to reach around and stiff arm? Grab that arm and pull his behind. He can't. He has no defense. The only way he can keep you off him is he let go of that ball with the other arm and get you out, because you got his arm. He has no way to protect himself. So that's kind of stuff. When I saw Coach Sapp talking about that, I was like, dang, that make a lot of sense. That make a whole lot of sense. Like, why are you sitting there struggling going around a arm? We can just use your hands, and that's the kind of stuff. I think the most fast. Yeah, I mean, that's typical though. It's typical. Y'all got to realize those little nuggets that you get from a sap, those little nuggets that you get from any guy that's been doing this, had 80,000 in attendance. Yeah, that's a different kind of place, man. Ohio State is different. They different, and they got a history. He bring in HBCU. I mean, he bring in why, he's not bringing HBCU experience. He's just bringing a different culture. He's mixing cultures, because that culture was what did I say, a PWI. It was no diversity. So what he's doing is he's bringing a blend, because those kids already is the way this world works now with social media, internet. Those kids are already engrossed in. It's not like back in the day was division. There's division in people, but those kids already listen to the music. Matter of fact, they probably listen to hip hop more than the black kids. So you pretty much just bringing them what they like. They just didn't have the resources, or nobody had the ability or the connections to bring these people in, because they are of another culture, but their kids are interested in it. So that's what he's bringing. That's what he's bringing to them. Wins matter. Yep. Coach Sherman seemed to be on cloud nine because that offense. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. That offense looked good. What's up? What's going on, Chad? That offense did look good. And you just, I mean, especially if you know what you're comparing it to. So a lot of people say, oh, everybody look good. Well, you clearly don't have eyes to see. Like, if you really pay attention to stuff, you know the difference. Like, you just see the details of it. Developing players for years without gold jackets, just saying, okay. Then why they intimidated by them? Answer that. That's what we're talking about. They developing them. Then don't cower away from them. Then don't block the gold jackets from coming into your staff. Talk is cheap. Little talking points is cute. But why they ain't got them on their staff? Why you intimidated by them? If you're a greater coach, then out coach them. Don't be intimidated by putting them on your staff. Give them the opportunity to coach. Don't try to block out people like Coach Prime from being a head coach, or trying to make his job harder than what it is because you're intimidated by him. All that big talk is cute. You're a coward if you don't back it up. Because the fact is, it's plenty of guys who have gold jackets who they don't give opportunity to coach. They don't give them an opportunity to be head coaches, and they rarely give them an opportunity to be in significant positions on the staff, other than like analysts and things like that. How you gonna not respect? That's like if Michael Jordan he's a Hall of Fame of basketball. Let's see how dumb this sounds. Michael Jordan is the greatest player alive. And then when he wants to coach, you be like, well, you got to be pretty much the third string water boy and to prove you can coach like the rest of us. So you saying all his experience and all his training has no value because he didn't do it in this particular position. So he got to work his way up the coach to prove he's able to coach. You're a coward. You're scared of him. Because you know good and doggone you have nothing on Michael Jordan from experience wise and coaching wise. Reference to cable cutter. Absolutely, it's internet based. Right. Cable cutter absolutely works everywhere. It's internet based. Where you got, tell me where you located overseas. I get that question and answer specifically, but I will tell you that my cable cutter has like over 10,000 channels, and it does include international channels, so that it makes sense that it have all the channels um, based off the server that it's attached to. Because I don't look at international channels, but I can look at channels all over the world. I can look at pretty much any sport. I can look at cricket. I can look at rugby. I got all the sports. I just don't look at it because that's not my thing. So when it says all sports channels, it literally has it. When they have all the movies, it literally have it. And they have international movies too. So there's no reason why I wouldn't work overseas, because I just don't watch those overseas movies. But we got Bollywood and all that on there. So yeah, it's absolutely should work. Um, let's see. What is your problem? CU practices are excellent. I mean, exciting. Yeah, CU practices are I mean, from what we see at least. I mean, he do a good job of showing it. Such is life. Do something else only the best can perform and take to the next level. Watch Comin bring results. It'll be every level was down. Yeah, hey man, he you can't say that he didn't bring nothing to the table, because he absolutely brought something to the table that everybody can learn from. He's brought an exciting dynamic. It was very just plain and dying and getting old, and he brought it a different kind of excitement, not just on the playing level, but from an advertising level. I mean, this is the perfect match. I mean, he's came in with NIL first took off, and he's the epitome of NIL. He lived NIL. That's what he done. His brand is all about NIL. He's one of the first football players technically to brand himself into success, and before, during, and after his career. So he is the signature, the spokesperson for NIL culture of today. He can show a player and a coach on how to master it. He's the perfect guy. So that's why he's even more intimidating, because he actually, everything how he does, from his own personal media companies following him to how he's already doing commercials and all of that works for him in this day and time. I don't know. It's perfect timing. Like his son, like the song say, Shadul. Like if he had did this 10 years ago, he probably would have had a hard time, because he would have got NCAA wasn't ready for all of that. And a lot of stuff they could have held against him as far as how he moved. It's like fraternity. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we got to think about what job is not like a fraternity. I mean, everything you do is like gatekeepers. I mean, what job can you get? You can't even get at McDonald's without knowing somebody who knows somebody, especially in this day and time. Like, people like to bring on people who fits their belief system, or fits their mindset, the culture. Everybody's about the culture. Well, guess what? Coaching has a culture. You want to be a police officer? They got a fraternity of police. Everything you want to do, military. Fraternity simply means you're a culture. You're gonna get in, and you're only gonna get invited through us. Don't come in your own way, because you're disrespecting the culture. So we're gonna haze you by making you be the third string water boy, even though you came out of NFL. We're gonna put you in your place, because you coming on our side now. We couldn't hang with you in the real sport on the field. So we create our own thing over here, and we don't care if you won 49 Super Bowls, sir. This is the coaching side, and we're gonna put you in your place, because we don't want you to ever think that you can come over here and do what we do and bump us out the way. So we're gonna put you through the rigor, and that's what it is. So yeah, the fraternity is, we're a bunch of guys who didn't make it, because that's what we're talking about. Most of the guys who coached didn't make it in sports. And the few guys who did make it, they had to prove themselves to the guys who didn't make it. Hey, I'm not come over here to disrespect y'all. I know I've been in 3 Super Bowls, and I might get a gold jacket in the future, but hey, I'm just one of you guys. You got to come over here and kiss the ring. Coach Prime came in and forget what y'all doing. I ain't doing that. I'm me. I'm gonna use my brand and my reputation and skip over all y'all. Oh no, this guy just not gonna disrupt what we're doing. How dare he be arrogant? And then it's just all of them teamed up. And Shannon, not Shannon Sharp, Keyshawn Johnson exposed it right after the Oregon game. He said, the guy said, I've never seen so many people and so many resources come together against one man. And everybody slid over it. And I brought it up. That's why you need to like, share, and subscribe. And I wish I'd have made more noise about it. Because everybody whitewashed that. And their season went downhill after that. Because it's a difference between my coaching against your coaching and me out coaching you, whatever. And it's a difference between me coaching you against 40 other people. And it's like, oh, that's football. That ain't freaking football. The man said it out of his own mouth. The other coach said it at Oregon. He said, I've never seen so many resources come available. Because y'all think about it, you only got a week. This Colorado snuck up on a lot of people. Gonna sneak up on a lot of people again. They snuck up on a lot of guys because they didn't really have no film on them guys. They was the new team, knew everything. So they needed a lot of resources to somebody to have the time outside of Oregon who just played a game to dissect the weaknesses of a team. If you got 100 people willing to help analyze and put their brains together to expose you, that typically would take weeks, some cases seasons, years for me to do that. And that's what makes great coaching. But when you got resources outside of your coaching staff willing to help expedite that, because you normally only got a few days to figure that out, and we're going to hand deliver it to you and say, these are all the weak points. That's like AI. It's like you fight against AI. Like, and they exposed them. And not only did they expose them, clearly everybody had that blueprint. And I know that blueprint because that blueprint looked very similar to, like, especially when it came to the blitzing and stuff with Shedeur. And that's what they tried to do to him at Jackson State. It didn't work, but like they say Celebration Bowl, whatever. He wasn't getting sacked like that. He definitely wasn't getting sacked like Colorado. But the goal is to put pressure on him. So, that's a point. Plus, they figured out the weakness, and they figured out the weakness. They figured out the weakness in the team, and that's what 127 years of NFL experience in Boulder right now. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember them talking about that. They're creating an NFL pipeline, absolutely. And yeah, he ain't trying to lose. And don't think that guy is not willing to do what it takes, but he'll bring in his whole football history Rolodex out before he sit up there and keep getting whooped. Who else can bring Warren Sapp out? Warren Sapp ain't in a coaching like that, but he willing in the right situation with his boy, and they made it work. CP said, if the draft doesn't make sense, Travis should come back for another year. He said he's going to look to see if Shedeur has another year. So I haven't heard that. I really ain't. They don't need to come back for another year. Travis don't. I mean, it depends. I mean, they finish strong. He won't be saying that because they don't have nothing else to prove. Shedeur, he said he gonna look. Shedeur don't have it because Shedeur didn't red shirt, and he didn't have no medical red shirt, and I think he missed that COVID window. He just missed that COVID window, so I don't think Shedeur would get that extra year. I think that COVID stuff is done. Absolutely. I'm behind in my comments here. Sapp. Oh man, Sapp. I like somebody came up with a really good idea when they put those cameras on, that first person camera. But somebody said Sapp need his own weekly show. At least we're well off, and I agree. Cause Sapp, man, he at least right now, he is really like, it's like he's releasing some stuff that he left on the table, or that he still want to give out, and he's just enjoying it. Cause sports wise, the man probably been playing sports his whole life. He haven't had the outlet from a coaching standpoint. Maybe watching it and like, what are they doing? He's gonna release that stuff, and you can't release that hunting gators. Like that give you something else. Hunting gators and deers and stuff. That's another adrenaline. But I got a feeling a lot of that adrenaline that he's been seeking and hunting, he's going to be able to fulfill that coaching, because coaching is like playing chess with people and all the elements you can't control. It isn't an adrenaline rush. And if you're a strategic guy, he's wired that way, then you definitely could look into that coaching element. I see somebody just came through. I think I did get your cable cutter request. I'm gonna look into that for you. Let me see who said that. The kids buy the music, the large consumer. Oh yeah, I'm definitely behind. Most sense and integrate. Coach Prime and the family. His kids are brilliant. And I don't know what happened with Bossy. Anybody know what happened with Bossy? I don't know what happened with her. I mean, she's been trying to find her way with her brother for a minute. It's a good program. I don't know what happened, but I know she kind of off the scene. Be you without excuses. I'm all in. Yeah, he's doing a lot for race relationships in the place that it need to be. Because you got to look at it. I remember when they moved the Braves game to about the racism thing with the whole whatever weird thing they was doing with the election or something, and with the governor, and they moved it from Atlanta to Denver, and then everybody was like, "So you saying you're showing people not to be racist in Atlanta when Atlanta is like the blackest city in the like one of the blackest cities in America, and you moved it to Denver, which is considered like one of the whitest cities in Atlanta." So I already know that Denver and Boulder area culturally is not the most diverse. That's what I remember from it. So you got to keep in mind that him bringing this culture to Denver, that area is significant, because I already know that's not the most black area. So it's ironic that he's there. That's why everybody was surprised that he went there. I noticed that some of the schools started playing that music during their practice. Yeah, man, that's different. I know. Okay, well, I know it's like some high schools back in the day, they used to play music during their warm up, but it was like rare, and those teams were really good. And like everybody knows you play music during the warm up at the actual game. And I haven't seen people have a DJ, especially have a DJ, but I haven't seen people play music during the practice. But you know, it makes sense that he do that because the game is full of loud noise and music. Like they playing music, whether it's the band or the sound system, they doing it in the NFL. So it makes sense to get the player used to, like, you don't break off into a dance because you're like, oh, they playing my song. Like you used to music being around you because it's gonna be at the game. It's gonna be because it's used to keep the crowd engaged and keep them, hype. So I need to be used to playing music around me while I play the sport. I shouldn't just only experience it at the game. And I also need to be used to the noise level. So all of that is actually good. Um, I don't know. I don't know their reason why, but I think it's good. They will get to the top. They will get top players until they win. They won't. Okay. It doesn't matter who the coach. Just look at those. The problem is Colorado's gonna win. The only way Colorado doesn't win, like I said last year, all them hounds from hell come together and stop them. But I think it's gonna be really hard. We're gonna get into some things that I've seen in a minute once I catch up on these comments. Keep them comments going, but y'all got this thing going today. Brady, come to Boulder. If you bored, come on. I wouldn't be surprised if Brady pop up this year because this is Shadour's senior year. If they still in communication like that, I don't see why Brady wouldn't pop up. This would probably be the year that he pop up. Not the coach, but he definitely will pop up at a practice, a game, or something like that for sure. Uh, Prime at Florida State will break the internet. Well, they missed that one though, because this is exactly what be going on. The way Colorado Stadium look how from the outside with the brick, it kind of reminds you of Florida State. Yeah, it kind of reminds you of Florida State. Florida State missed a big one with that. Yeah, they missed it bad. They should do whatever they need. Fire the president, whatever. Turn Brady to be exact. Yeah. What's good, bros? I'm really behind on these comments. Coach Prime's a true example of an alpha male being successful. Ain't scared of nobody. Yeah, I think I got your text, T. What is it, Rashay? I think I got your text here for the cable cutter, so I'm gonna be looking out for you to know if it works here. Yeah, But what I was saying, because it does have international channels, that means the channels are not limited to the area. That's what I was saying. That you should have all the channels, no matter where you are, because they're connected to the internet server, not necessarily to where you are located. So, yeah. Where are you in Italy? Italy. What's going on in Italy? What are you doing in Italy? What's going on? You see, we got these buffs here. Everybody here bright and early. Well, not quite. It's 1:15. I'm trying to catch up here. Everybody, while we edit, you were one of the only channels talking about it. I'm late. What was I talking about? What? He said the team is not happy with the transfer of QBs that have come in. Hmm. I don't know. They're not happy with the transfer court. I'm gonna tell you though, if their philosophy is to use people where they best at, doggone use them. That big old quarterback, he ain't gotta be Shador. Put him on some doggone, put him on some option packages and 4th-and-1 and let him dive. Let him be a doggone crash dummy. He'll be happy. Just let these guys get in where they fit in. If you got to turn them to a tight end, turn them to a tight end. The big old boy, turn them to a tight end. Some of these quarterbacks do it good, and they're not gonna make it at the next level. And you say you put them in position in the next level, turn them boys to a tight end. I mean, because that boy Taylor is huge. He looked like a tight end. He might be a good tight end. Campbell has some good hands. He's athletic. He can run. That man might mess around, be a first round, second round tight end. Trying to be a quarterback. Don't have no ego. Go where you best at. If you're an athlete at tight end, we see what athletes do at the NFL at tight end. Them boys don't even play college ball and they go to the NFL out of basketball and be like Gates and a lot of them guys, man. Don't have no ego. The blueprint was being shared before. What is the blueprint? What I meant? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think the blueprint was exposed. I get it. The line, I think a lot of people didn't take long to see the line weakness and what a blitz and all that. And that's why all the games in the beginning were shootouts. So I think that Colorado State finally put a stamp on it because they were still winning, but it was getting harder and harder to win. And I think Colorado State kind of mastered it because I know Colorado State went better than Nebraska. So, they definitely perfected it. And as you see from that point on, it was on. It's bad. See, better more than that of a position. Yeah, it's like Sap is really an analyst. They get to be on the field. That's what he is. That's something you couldn't do last year. So he don't need a role. We just need him on the field, making them corrections like he was doing last year, but sparingly. We need Sap to have a reason to be there every day during the season and be able to articulate why are you using your hands like this? Get your heat and just kind of nitpick at them. Nitpick. All this footwork, all this handwork from here into August. And there's no way they won't be better. There's no way they won't be better. I'm checking in from Memphis. First time joining this show. She has 2 years of eligibility left. How? How you have, including this year? You say 2 years, not after this, but including this year? Possibly. But I'm wondering, did he catch the COVID wave? Like, because he came in at the end of the COVID wave? Because I know he came in that same year that Jackson State played in the spring. And then he played in the fall, but he started as a true freshman. So I don't know what they're doing with his eligibility. Now I know Travis has 2 left, but I don't know about how in the world Shador would have it because he started. Even Travis, because he really didn't play the first half of his season, his freshman year. So he probably could even somewhat count some of that medical. Yeah. Hines Ward. Yeah, Hines Ward is in the game. The gates is open. Yeah, excluding this year or including this year, because this year his 4th year. So that would be like saying if it don't include this year, then you would be saying he has 6 years of eligibility, which would be saying like what is going on with college football? Because the only reason all of these people were supposed to have all these years in the first place was because of COVID. Like COVID was the reason for people to play 6-7 years. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. Like I was saying, it's a winning attitude in Boulder. And appreciate you for coming out. Was that Emmett Marshall? First time joining. Shout out. I'm looking forward to this year, man. I believe it, y'all. When you look at somebody like me, I can relate a lot to Coach Prime because yeah. Because I was a guy who was sitting on the side, like he said, with his kids and made them start coaching. I was a guy sitting on the sideline that was like, you know what? I'm talking about this thing, I'm following about this stuff. Let me do my own thing. So I kind of really jumped this thing right in August. And here we go. Here we are right now. And I really didn't get to do the off-season stuff. I was watching, I was engaged. So I'm really excited on seeing the transition from here until the next season. Because I'm going to tell y'all, last season, we thought the hype was there last season. Man, the hype is going to be there this year because last year, nobody really saw Colorado coming. They snuck up and beat TCU. Everybody just knew 99.9% they were going to lose. They just really had a low bar. And then you look up and they won a game 2, game 3. And then people say, why they get the hype? Because they didn't even expect them to win for 3 in the whole year. And they won their first 3 games. So they had to give Colorado the attention and the respect due. That just makes sense. Now you talking about what happened after that, but it just makes sense why everybody want to be there because nobody didn't know where it was going. It was a big year. So I think this year people really gonna take them a little more serious. They know what Shador can do. It's no longer the little swag boy. We know what Travis can do. These guys expected to go for the Heisman. They're expecting these guys legit. It's not just a talk. They expect these boys to go first round, top of the first round. So I don't know where it come in when you say it's almost like you can't hold them back. They let them come out last year. I don't know how you can hold Shador back again, right? So the expectations are higher. The expectations are higher, and which is good for them. So when you look at like, we can call it the sap effect. The coaches will even become competitive with each other. It's a very competitive environment. It's more energy, more excitement. It's a healthy competition. It's another level of talent, but you're pushing that level of talent to another level of talent. I'm gonna tell you, they had gaps. They filled in the gaps with the O-line. They filled in the gaps with some more secondary players. But the real gap they pulled in, what's going on old school? They keeping it at a very high level, and it's not like a bunch of talk about. It's not a bunch of talk. It's action, and they bring in these action players like Michael Welch, who come in with his lunch pail. You know, he ain't really playing around. Young guy. It helps to bring in guys who they ain't here for the spotlight and they here to work. People talk about Jordan Seaton, but Jordan Seaton, outside the time when he won the flats, Jordan Seaton always working. He always looking focused. He don't play around a lot. He's putting in the extra work. That energy in itself is going to help this football team because they didn't have the energy last year. I don't know why. Maybe it was the mixture of personalities. Maybe it was the coach. They was very nonchalant. It's a winning attitude. And I think that expectations within the camp is high. It's not always about my expectation is to win or my expectation is to dominate, but it's literally, I'm not a loser. I didn't come here to lose. I didn't lose anywhere else. The coaches that coming in, they're not losers. They're just not going to settle. They're just not going to settle for losing. And I'm glad you said that because okay, somebody made a comment earlier, and I said I'd get back to it. I like the unity in the coaches. I like the way they broke down the huddle when Robert Livingston was talking. Then Sherman came in. He said, "Now we together," and they put their hands together. That's powerful. We didn't see that last year. I seen them. All right, you speak. All right, you speak. I never seen Sean Lewis unite with my Kelly, Coach Kelly. I never seen that. They're showing unity as a coaching staff, but they have been an example. They're showing them how to compete but still be friends at the end. They're showing them how to compete but still be brothers at the end. See, this new generation is different, y'all. This new generation is like they don't know how to fight. Like back in the day, we fight and you be best friends. They're just raised in a different world. So these coaches are exemplifying like they scared. Like last year, team seemed to be afraid of pushing each other because they almost like I'm gonna lose a friend, I'm gonna have to fight. They didn't know how to push each other and still be teammates. These coaches showing him Sap talking jump to Lowhart looking at it. Oh yeah, they raising all what they say a rising tide raises all ships. These guys are talking to each other, but they're doing it in a respectful way. They're not cussing each other, they're not disrespecting each other, but it's very competitive. But at the same time, we team. They're showing these guys how to compete, push each other without it becoming toxic, without them wanting to see each other fail, without talking about each other, without trying to hurt each other. Because a real team know how to compete with each other in a healthy way. Well, I'm gonna push you, but you still my brother, like family. Versus I'm pushing you and I really don't like you, and I'm slick trying to throw jabs and blows at you. So we're saying that. And I'm telling you, I didn't see that last year. I followed this thing from day one. I didn't see the coaches really pushing each other. And sometimes when you see coaches putting each other, coaches be about to fight. And it's like, that's not productive. The fight is something else going on. Your ego being pushed and all that. Now I know sometimes things get intense because of the nature of it, but if the only time y'all really going at it is if in a toxic way, that means you got some underlying issues going on. You got some underlying drama going on. Yeah, I feel like you disrespected me. I got some passive aggression going on. That's not what's going on. I like the way it looked. I hope they hanging out together. I hope they doing whatever they need because that's what Coach Prime was trying to do last year before we even heard them talk about doing it with the team. The coaches need to get together and get to know each other because they're still on the same team. And I see that these coaches are pushing each other. Offense is pushing, and they talking more than the players. I like it. New receiver coach, I always forget his name. Um, he's talking to the players. He's engaged. You can't have no boring practice when your coach isn't engaged and keeping that pot stirring. They stir that pot. He talking junk to Shiloh. They talking junk to DB. They keeping them boys in under that intensity because in the game somebody talking junk on the sideline, talking junk in the game. They got to get used to playing up under pressure and without losing their cool. You know, Sam O is a dog. Sam O. Who's Sam O? So I think that when we look at the running game, for example, y'all tell me. It seems like most people who support Colorado here, I know a lot of y'all who noticed the difference. Who noticed the difference in the running game? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put a disclaimer out there. First thing people gonna say, you can't really judge the worst beating the worst, or the best of the worst. You can't really judge Colorado offense because their defensive line sucked last year, so you automatically say they suck this year. Or you can't say the defensive line is good because the offensive line has sucked. So there's no real clear gauge of what's going on. But have y'all noticed the intensity in the running game? Have y'all this is another thing. This is a more healthy team. I don't know what in the world happened last year. How did they do what they did? I've never seen anything like it. Because I've seen like some players leave Colorado because they were worried about losing their spot. I've never seen so many players get recruited that was injured. Like I noticed that last year. Yeah, Coach Phillips. You're right, Coach Phillips. Coach Phillips played with them, and I think they played in Atlanta together, and they coached together too. I know he coached at Jackson that first year. Yeah, yeah. So I know that we've already said that the run game is going to be different because the guys we brought in are true run blockers. Like Benson is really good at cracking down on that tackle and wiping him all the way to the linebacker. He did it with some of the top teams. He's really good at, if you can get Benson to come down on that tackle and then running back kick out, take a lead blocker, man, we have a field day off tackle because we know that edge is gonna squeeze down if you know what he's doing. But Benson is really good at the run block. So we got a lot of guys that really, Tyler Brown's really good at the run block. Even Mayers, a lot of these guys are really good at the run block. So the run game is looking like it's looking good. I think they always can touch up on their pass block. But I'm seeing the passes Shador dropping. I've already said it. I'm gonna say it again. Shador is gonna be on a whole nother level. Shador about like his dad. He's not playing with y'all. Like to see that both all. Yeah. Look at here. Shador. Yeah. Yeah. Keeping them fresh. Keeping them rotating. Shador is looking like a grown man out there. Him coming back, that'll be dangerous because Shador is not playing. Shador he definitely sleeping with that football at night. We watching this man all at the beach throwing the ball, drinking pina colada, throwing the football. This man on vacation throwing football, doing football drills in the sand at the penthouse. What is Airbnb? This man taking his QB coach on trips with him. This man here, this man don't matter. He don't care where he at. He gonna get his QB drills and he'll do them in the parking lot. He don't care. This man ain't playing with y'all. I don't think people get that. That's crazy. It's my he cocky. That man, he is in real Brady mode already. He does not care. He walk around with all them chains on. He walk around with the cars and do all that crap. And I bet the football on the front seat. That's crazy. That's crazy. That dynamic is that's definitely Coach Prime's son. He you can tell he was raised on it. He's not phased. He's just part of who he is. I guess he was raised around that lifestyle. It has no impact on his focus with football. It's clearly separate. That boy sit there and do them football drills. He don't take no days off. It's showing, man. His passing is on a whole nother level. With them few clips we seeing, even Sapp was like, he dropping balls, man, that he gonna, it's scary. As good as he was last year, and with the line he had, the kind of balls he was dropping in last year, it's gonna be on a whole nother level. And that's scary because with a line, it ain't gonna take much. Just give him another second. His reading gonna be better. His play calling gonna be better. That offense gonna be a problem. So when you add in the run game, and you anybody notice McAllister? I'm not McAllister. My God, Alto McCaskill. Some people said they didn't see him. I have. That boy running hard, man, and he real light on his feet. He got to be back to his rare form. Because that's what I was saying. Last year, they brought in McCaskill. They brought out Travis J. They had that boy Vito. Who else? It was several guys that came in hurt, and they stayed hurt the whole season. They wasn't recovered. And I'm like, these injuries didn't happen in camp or nothing. They came in hurt. And I was like, what kind of mess is this? But guess what? All them boys healthy this year, and they back. Travis J is back. And Travis J is a dynamic athlete. And a lot of people talk about that safety room and don't mention Travis J. That's not a guy you want to sleep on. Because this guy is a true athlete. He was an athlete that could play both sides of the ball coming out of high school at a high level. He is an athlete. I always say he covered that guy with a bad bum knee at Oregon, and that was considered a top NFL prospect. And Travis J was on him. He just didn't, his legs wasn't all the way back, so he couldn't jump and knock the ball down. But that guy did not burn him. So you imagine if Travis J was able to cover this dude at 80% or whatever percent he was. When Travis J is healthy, I don't see how you keep him off the field. Travis J is a real athlete. He got real athlete confidence. He got real athlete size, and he got real athlete skills. And a lot of people don't talk about him. They're talking about Shiloh. That safety room, if used correctly, should be a problem. I don't want them to stay on the field. Why let them be out there tired to get dragged out? Rotate them boys. Put Herman Smith in there. Put Travis J in there. Have them coming in with Silman Craig coming in. I know Slusher gone. Bring in Silman Jones. I think it's Silman Jones. Bring all them boys in, rotate them boys. Now you don't brought Carter in, Carter Stockmeyer in. Now you don't brought Cooper in. You got so many weapons that can play that slot. All them boys used to be cornerbacks. And they bigger, and they man that it's no drag route should prosper. It's no drag route should prosper. You let Travis Hunter come in and play slot every now and then. But you really got them bigger size guys that you can bring in the red zone in the slot that will hit. Every last one of them boys will hit. Stockmile will hit you. He showed it. Cooper will hit you. He showed it. Travis J will hit you. So we got bigger size guys who can come in and play that slot. And you still got Hodge this here. You got everything you need in that secondary to knock down that run game. With a positionless defense like we talked about, this defense should be scary, man. If they don't sit over there and let these boys sit on the bench, people get hurt and be whining. If they, like Coach said, if he rotate them boys in and keeping them fresh and keeping them healthy, them boys gonna play like wild animals. That defense, run game, pass game, it should be straight. They got these edge rushers that's gonna be fresh. It should be a lot of picks this year to the media pass for the game. I'd love for you to do it personally. You know what I did look into it. I sent the email to that's another thing. I definitely want to be there this last season. I definitely want to catch at least one home game. Just because we don't know. I was part of that Jackson State thing. That thing ended, and I didn't expect it. I just heard rumors, and it was boom. And it was time. I mean, what else could he do but beat the mess out of everybody and people turn on him and wish harm on him? He had reached his pinnacle as far as what he can do in the SWAT. Other than the SWAT, have to go start playing teams outside the SWAT. He had really his recruiting, his environment. It was creating a scary jealousy. Let's be real. So I knew it was coming to end. I just didn't know how quick, and I didn't know it was Colorado. So with Colorado, it's the same thing. Shador gone, Travis gone. I don't know what keeps him. I really don't. I mean, you say he loved to coach. I mean, he didn't start coaching until his boys started, and his passion came behind him coaching his boys. So if his passion is his boys, I would think he would want to be at his boys' game when he go to the NFL. I would think that he would want to be there. He loves his boys and he wants to support them. I don't know how he does that with his focus being a college coach long term. I don't know. I don't know how he does that when the games are on Sundays and he likes to have practice on Sundays. How does he have practice on Sundays? That's his culture he established. And Shador and Shiloh's playing on Sundays and Travis. I don't see how he maintains that when his passion is his boys. I don't see how they playing Monday night games and Thursday night games and all that. He can be with his boys. I mean, he got the ability to go. He can jump on a jet. I don't know that split focus. I don't know. So I don't know how much longer he will do it. And I don't know how much longer this type of, I know this is a special year with I don't care what they say. Travis and Shador that together, that's special. And the rest of them boys that we're going to see emerge, which we're going to see some guys emerge this year. So, like you said, I did look into that press pass. I actually emailed somebody and they said that they usually release those passes around July. So he told me to get back with them to apply for it. I still don't know what it takes to apply, but I will apply. I think they say start in July. So I definitely would love to be there. At least one of those home games and maybe one of the away games like over here in Florida, UCF. I don't know, man. It's like I didn't know last year this time that I would have a channel. So, I'm just keeping it open. But I definitely want to be there. But I miss. 2 was grown when he was 2. Yeah. They said they had him running the plays in the they said to get one of his guys, one of the coach, what was the coach's name? Was it Moach? Said Shador them when they was doing the unarmed games, Shador was getting in the drills as a young dude, running the All-American drills. She was going to. So Shador ain't playing with them boys, man. I know I've been around sports and I've been around people. He took last year personal. His dad took it personal. And the fact that he brought these coaches in, everybody, they see, sometimes people, he told y'all, get me while I can. This guy ain't playing with y'all. You got to put respect on his name. You disrespected his name. You disrespected him. These boys are serious about winning this year. He's gonna do what it takes. And he brought in boys who took it personal. That offensive line that he brought in this year took it personal, and they weren't even there. They took it personal that Shador was getting sacked, and they refused to let somebody sack Shador when they on the line. This year thing should be is personal. I know that one game last year was personal. This whole season shouldn't be no we coming. It is personal because it looked personal to me. It's personal. It ain't fun and games. They said they ain't talking. It's personal. It's their cousin. Yeah, I think it's the cousin on Bucky. I don't know. Is it through Bucky mama side? I think it's Travis J is not through Dion's side. I think it's through Bucky mama side. I know his mama went to FAMU. So I think he's Bucky's cousin. I don't know if it's through Dion's side. Uh they don't practice on Sundays. They practice on Sundays during the season. They've been doing it since Jackson State. That's Coach Prime's thing. He like to practice the next day for the guys who didn't play in the game, who didn't play a certain percentage. That's when they get their work in. So the guys who played the day before sit out. They definitely have practice on Sundays. Who is 3-6 Mafia? On defense, I don't know. We gotta look at the. Let me see. I don't know if I have the actual. I've been looking at that a lot lately. Looking at the um, roster because now we starting to say who is this, who is that. So when you look at 3-6, we know Savion is 3-6 on offense. I think you're talking about 3-6 on defense. It's crazy because you had a guy at Jackson State named 3-6, 3-6 Mafia. Or was that who he called 3-6 Mafia down there? I don't know if he didn't call that Savion. Somebody was 3-6 Mafia before. Let me see. 3-6 Mafia. Hope you get a press pass. I hope so too. That would be interesting because I didn't get into it for that, but I see other guys doing this. I say, "Well, let me see." It is what it is. 3-6 Mafia is Nathan Watson. Nathan Watson. He's a sophomore safety. I think I did look that up before. He's a sophomore safety. So I don't know much about him, but he's one of those safeties. Sophomore. I think is here. Hear me? Not sure. Oh, okay. Hear me. If I remember right, he said God told him to ride. Just think if God tell him to stay. I mean, hey, people can't tell people what they if they heard God or not. Especially when you get into God and football, a lot of people say, hey, why would God care about football? Well, you'll be surprised on just how things connect. And he's a system disruptor. He's bringing God to football in a way that has been. I mean, he got to the point they had lawsuits of people trying to pray. So he's bringing God to football in a lot of ways that hasn't been in a lot of the most recent years. He's also a disruptor, and God is a disruptor. He's also bringing balance, and God is a balancer. Not necessarily the specific culture, but just breaking the thought patterns and mindset of people. So, they say God working mysterious ways. That is mysterious. So I wouldn't put it past him. He's not bringing religion, but he's bringing a certain conscious, on a certain level, some spiritual component. Like they like the way he prayed before. A lot of stuff we don't see. They pray before the meeting. So he's bringing not necessarily religious or perfection, but he's bringing a awareness. Yeah, he's bringing awareness. So God, on some levels, on this level, he's bringing it. Like one of the players said, it's a revenge tour. Man, it's gonna be interesting. Trevor Woods got him a pick at practice. Trevor Woods, if he get his feet work together, they say he's smart. I was considered a smart player. Smart player can be a dangerous player because I was fundamental. I'm fundamental in everything I do. So I'm one of those guys who played backer as well. I played linebacker and safety and corner. I played everything on that field except quarterback. And over the years, and I should have paid that more than anything because I was a baseball player and a pitcher. I probably could have did that better than a lot of it. But I was a smart player in whatever I did. It's like I talked about with the stiff arm. Certain stuff I figure out. So if Trevor Woods is smart, like they say, he should figure out that linebacker thing because he got the off seasons now. So can't say I wasn't in the room, but I certain stuff, man. When I was at linebacker, man, I figured that junk out. I know what play you running, and don't even talk about the tendencies of if you're blinking or you're looking down or if your knuckles white, all that stuff people look at. I literally just from me knowing patterns and don't know when I start watching film, it was a wrap. So I would know what play is coming. And I was the linebacker that would come up and change the play and then shoot the gap. So I hope Trevor Woods is smart because that's the good place for you to be because you in between it all and you close enough to the line to be a disruptor. And I was a disruptor. I would jump slant routes. That's why I didn't get it. You running slant routes with me, I'm gonna jump up under that thing. Because that's what smart allow you to do. You see the patterns coming. They say here, what it say? Old school. He said God told him to go to JSU as well. Yeah, he went to JSU. And you can't, I don't know what God you're looking for, but what's your definition of God or what you can say that God told him, but he clearly brought a lot of attention to JSU. So if JSU don't value it, what he brought, then I guess that's why, it's back to normal now. He brought a lot of eyeballs and a lot of resources to JSU and he left from there. I even know with Diddy, but Diddy. I was at the game when Diddy took the little check and gave a little $1 million at the last classic last August, that cricket HBCU classic, and he was saying he was fulfilling the promise he made when Coach Prime was there. There's a lot of attention that Coach Prime brought, so I don't know. You can't disrespect what he brought because he brought a lot in a short period of time. Not just them winning, but he brought a lot of money and resources. He got a new field that he wasn't gonna get. Walmart sponsored it. New facilities that people argue whether or not he put his money in or not. He brought new facilities. And they say, well, it was already in plans. Well, we know a lot of crap in plans. We know his plans to renovate that stadium that ain't been renovated in 100 years. So we ain't talking about plans. We talking about action. It's a lot of action that he brought. He brought Under Armour there. He brought a lot of respect. He brought a lot of eyeballs there. So I don't know what your definition of God is, but I say when they say God is good, he brought a lot of good stuff to Jackson State in a short period of time. And in his realm and in his mountain of influence, he's very good at it. Nobody's asking him to be a pastor because he's not a religious leader. But in a world of sports and entertainment, he is one of the best there is. And he brings God to that. He's not perfect by far, but he ain't bringing a lot of folks bringing devil. Straight up, more devil than ever. Raw devil is weird, satanic, all you name it. Like it ain't no God in it. Unless you talking about the devil. He's definitely bringing positivity. He's bringing inspiration. Like I do on Sundays, inspiration and motivation. He's bringing all that. So I don't know where you can say he's not doing it because he for a world that's not really a religious world, he's bringing as much as God than people can bring outside of being religious. Because football is a very aggressive sport. There's a lot of profanity. The music that they listen to, it can go all the way left if you don't balance that thing off with God. So he definitely bring a balance because, man, it can be a bad thing. So he's bringing a balance. Red zone is Jeff Trevor's a red zone guy. He's tall and he's a bigger linebacker. So I like him in the red zone. You see, like to catch them interceptions you try to drop over his head. In a small space, Trevor can be dangerous. He's showing you that in a couple picks he had last year. Play the man to his strength. That's all I say. Don't act like he's a linebacker. Don't get it twisted. Play him to his strength. That's right. He had a pick six. You put him in the red zone and you trying to dump the ball right over that middle, he going to pick it off because he's tall. So it's good to have him in the middle of the field. Now, I don't like the way he read. I would love to have a conversation. Somebody tell Trevor to call me. I ain't trying to undercut, but I do not like the way he just jumped into the line. I don't like the way the linebackers read. They commit to a hole before they see the ball through there. Like they their own play action. And then people want to make the complaints where they need to be able to see the hole because the line. You're full of crap. I played the position. Quit talking, quit repeating stuff. They're not reading the ball height and they just commit to a hole. They commit to a hole whether the ball there or not. That's why we have all these running lanes, because the linebacker's supposed to fill that hole. They just run into a hole now, and they're not blitzing, but it looked like a blitz because they commit to the hole and they go to fighting with the lineman, and the ball ain't even committed to the hole. The ball is going to that hole or that hole. That's not what linebackers do. Linebackers read, see where the ball is going, then attack the ball. They attack the ball from reading. They commit before they read. That's a whole nother comment. I'm not even gonna get into that. It's time to go, y'all. They don't sell out Springer. There may be an issue with how the local fans feel about what's going on. I don't know what the local fans feel like going on, but I'm gonna tell you this: they don't need local fans because people like us will travel, and that's shown. Local fans they are worried about winning, but when you say what's going on? What's going on is they're happy that the excitement is coming back to their city. What's going on is the economic impact of all the people coming in town to the restaurants and hotels. And if I'm a business person, I would be happy because it ain't ghost town, and that means all them people coming into town, the celebrities, they coming to spend money. That's what a local should be worried about. I don't know what else they could be worried about, but I do know this: that if they don't fill up that stadium, it's enough people that'll fly out there to see the game. One of the hardest things about when you got Coach Prime there is sell out games. So if they don't want to fill them seats, we'll fill them seats. Because they should be enough for them to fill the seats without us. It's like Athens. It's like at University of Georgia. It's rare that you can get a ticket because they local community fill up the seats. But best believe if they don't get them tickets, somebody is willing to come see it because everybody want to see be a part of this history. It is history. It is history. It's not an issue. Tickets just went sale 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, and see them tickets will sell out in a day. You got well-off media got more than enough people to fill the seats. Think about that now. That's the power of marketing. I know people who can promote an event in one day and book it, sell it out because they got a following that 10 times the capacity. That capacity of that stadium is not even 50,000. That man drop a video and get more than 50,000 people looking at it. He got what? At least a few 100,000 followers. So it is what it is. They're not gonna have a problem filling any stadium because you take a fraction of their following, and the local people are gonna be the one missing out. That's the power of media. They're not dependent on the local. Also, some people said it's hard to get hotels now due to the immigrant issue. I don't know about the immigrant issue, but I am wondering because I'm thinking, and y'all let me know. We might need to put something together since we're a community. I know I've been doing some stuff with Bernard Watts, and I know he does stuff with other. I would love to do like a put it out there. I know y'all know Old School. He did with some of the other channels, and I talk to him every now and then. I would love to do like a powwow with the other content creators, but in one spot. That would be crazy. Like maybe we can get like an Airbnb because I'm wondering how the Airbnb booked. I think that would be better than the hotel. If some of us went out there and we did an Airbnb, we can do like one big show. That'll be different. I haven't thrown it out there. I'm gonna talk to a couple of them about it. I'm just putting it out there. Maybe y'all can put that out there to some ones y'all support. And like a few of us, we get an Airbnb. That'll eliminate the hotel thing when we do go out there. But that'll give us a chance to do something that's never been done when it comes to content. We all have our own. Some of us overlap when it comes to our content. All our content is different. So I know Colin and Rob the Man, David, Big Chico, the main guys, John Liquidator. A lot of these guys been doing it. Some of us been kind of started around the same time, and some is kind of pioneered this space. But I would love to see like us set a time, and then maybe that'll be two birds, one stone. We can get out there and one of them home games, get an Airbnb. We can just do a big show and kind of like pound it out. That'll be different. So y'all throw that out there, see what everybody think. But I know that'll help with the hotel situation. We get us a nice Airbnb that can eliminate. And some of that transportation stuff, I hear a lot of those guys when they go out there, they be about to miss the game. They be trying to Ubers be not available and They be at the hitchhike and all of that, and they have to get a place way away from the, 20, 30 minutes maybe away, maybe down in Denver. So we can plan that out, man. Maybe we can be kind of close and do like a little live show together, and that'll be cool. That'll be historic. Speaking of something. Yeah, we did. Let's throw it out there and we'll make it happen. Especially we get some press passes. That'll really be on point. Yeah, this year gonna be real different. It's gonna be a different kind of football season. Colorado got all the momentum. It's in their hands, man. It's gonna be a big run. It's gonna be better than a 3-4 week run, and everybody excited. It's gonna be a big run this year. I can easily see them running 5-5-0, 6-0 before the hype really hit this time. But you know, I think you got life in football. Yeah, Colin Life in Football, Colin, and John the Liquidator. Yeah, I know they done some stuff. I know when they used to go to the games, I think they did some stuff together at that TCU game back last year. And like I said, I talked to a few of them online or whatever. So maybe it just be a good opportunity to do something and really strengthen the community. This is a big year. I think our influence, our voice is going to be important if stuff pop off. Because I got a feeling like if we don't really stand together in this year, that they'll steal it, man. They will steal this season from them. I seen some stuff happen last year that wasn't all about football. And I know the only way you really going to beat Colorado this year, you're going to have to cheat the mess out of them. That offensive weapon is so strong. You're going to have to take some touchdowns from them, call pass interference, or let them be pass interfered. That's the only way they can neutralize these boys. Because Amarion Miller, somebody asked me, it might have been when I was on Bernard, one of them shows. Somebody asked me, and I never thought about it before I said it. But they said, who is the standout player this year that can make a difference? And I never thought about it. I said, Amarion Miller. Amarion Miller will make or break this offense. A lot of people won't think that. They think of Dylan Edwards. They think of Alto. But think about it. If Amarion Miller be that man that he was, which he's showing at practice, if he be that man that he was, and they keep him healthy and keep him fresh, the same guy that was at USC, I'm going to tell y'all go ahead and clip this. Go ahead and get your cameras ready. If Amarion Miller, y'all get it back to him, get it to the count. If Amarion Miller be's that man that he was at USC, Colorado will be almost impossible to beat. I don't care what y'all think about the defense, because the defense is going to be better. And the defense last year wasn't no slouch, especially towards the end. The offense just started to slouch. But if Amarion Miller be's that man, where they can't do nothing with him, he just, what they call bean pie, whatever they say, whatever they say, bean top in there. And all these words these young folks coming up with. If that boy is over there just dogging the cornerback out, and they got to put 2-3 people over there to help him, it's a wrap. That's why USC was scrapping everywhere, because they had no answer for him. If they got him on the field doing that, and you still got Wester on the field, it's a wrap. You talk about a running game, Alto gonna run all over you, because in no way that you got to watch Amarion Miller over there and put 2-3 guys over there, and it don't line your box up. And it's going to make blocking way easier for Shador, and the run game going to light them up. If Amarion Miller, and I know we still got Draylon Miller to come. I know we still got a couple of young guys to come. That's some animals too. A lot of people don't know about. But if Amarion Miller is healthy and do what he's doing in practice and do what he did at USC, Colorado will be in the conference championship. Greg said it. I know y'all want to argue. Not y'all. But, yeah, go ahead and support this alliance. I'm saying we might do something, man. We might do a little something with the content creators and do a little boost, man. We can figure it out. We might raise some money for them boys. We got to use our influence. We got to use our influence to raise money, and we got to use our influence to have they back, because they can't complain when Travis Hunter get dropped in the ribs and the kidney and the liver and all of that, and they can't go on a press conference and complain. Coach Prime can't do it. He couldn't do it. Travis can't do it because all they gonna do is pick on them. Oh, you little whiny babies. Oh, you sore losers. No, we gonna do it. When they cheat, we gonna be the one that make a big deal about it. When they steal touchdowns, we the one who gonna take the clips and show it. We need to run them clips back and say, look at that. Look how they stole that from Travis. Remember after the game with Utah when they stole that 2 touchdowns from Travis and Bucky put it out there? We gotta push that mess. We gotta bring it to public because we the one who watching this stuff. The public is not. We gotta make that mess go viral. We gotta pump it out there to them referees be put to shame. It's like politics. If they cheat, somebody need to put it out there. Hey, I don't care what you can try to hide. You can try to block us from putting it out there if you want to. We need to put that mess out there because we do not want them to get comfortable with stealing the games from these boys. We don't want them to get comfortable that like they're gonna keep mush mouthing Coach Prime and have him on the corner pouting with the sunglasses on because he can't say nothing because whatever he say, they just gonna flip it back on him. We got to go ahead and build an alliance. We're talking about our own alliance. We got to build an alliance within our media. Well-off media can't even do it because he's too close to Coach Prime. We got to be the ones that when they go to Ben Shady and Keyshawn Johnson put out, that's why I did a show on it. When they put out certain stuff going on, we gotta put it out there. We gotta be unified in it. It shouldn't be just Greg said it and his little 2,000-3,000 people. You know, some of us got 2,000-3,000, some got 6,000, some got 10, some got 20. We got to be unified in putting the word out. So we got to be unified before this season comes. When people go to acting funny, don't forget about Buffed and Prime. There's some boys, they don't caught up and ran past a lot of people. They do real good football, not football, but film breakdown. And so they real good at getting them film and showing stuff too. We can use their help and pulling up. You see that right here, he holding. But then when we did it, they called holding on 3rd and 10, or 3rd and 3, and they just threw a holding. But they ain't calling this. We need to point out this inconsistency because I hope so. I hope so because I'm telling you, I already know what's gonna happen. Because a lot of people think, oh, you know, they saying stuff like, well, that was a Pac-12 issue. No, man, that wasn't no Pac-12 issue. The guy clearly said, Keyshawn Johnson said, he didn't say all the people in Pac-12 came together against Coach Prime. People from all over who had knowledge and resource and insight team up against Coach Prime because he's going against the system. He wasn't going against Pac-12. So we know that same junk is coming. Y'all remember I said this though. We know that all of that is coming. The cheating is coming, guys. The holding calls at the wrong time to make us be 3rd and 25 because we running down their throat and they're gonna call holding on Benson because they say you can call holding on any play. So they holding just to control the game. And then when they holding our defensive line from gushing down their throat and sacking them every play and ground them all around the neck, they ain't calling holding when we trying to get our sacks. When they holding our receiver, they ain't gonna be able to do that with Marion Miller, but hold him. And when they doing like they did Weaver, we got to call it out. Man, they holding this man all the way down the sideline. They hit Shador after the play because they already said that's what worked. We want to hurt Shador. We want to get him out the game. We want to hurt him in the back. They hit him after the play. And then what's going to happen? One of our linemen going to body slam them. They're going to call personal foul. We got to know that they're going to try to bait them into stuff. We got to be able to protect them. I'm telling you. They're going to do everything they can to get these penalties and get this team off out of sync because they can't beat them. Not no Big 12. I mean, I'm sorry. Utah can't beat them. I'm sorry. Arizona, that was a fluke. You can't beat them. You can't beat this team. Y'all going to need every referee and every dog, pony, and witch and warlock, whoever you need to help you win. And we got to stand with this team. So I hope all of y'all catch that. That's what Greg said it bring to the table. No, I want no Pac-12 specific referee thing because how much do you blame on error? And maybe it was Pac-12 specific because maybe they told them, hey, don't let them win the Pac-12. Well, guess what? When they get in the Big 12, they might tell the referees the same thing. You better not let them win. So maybe it was Pac-12. But now they're in Big 12 and the same messenger or the same message or the same strategy applies. It applies. And if that same undertone is there, people say, well, it's on TV. Okay. Try to hurt Shador. Yeah, they gonna snap. The lineman gonna snap, but guess what? They already know the lineman gonna snap. So all they gonna do is let the boy body slam Shador after the play. Don't call a penalty, and then Benson gonna come and clothesline somebody, and they gonna call him for the penalty. It ain't gonna be no offsetting penalties. I'm letting y'all know the traps is already there. They already know. They already know the personality of our lineman. So even the other team know all we gotta do is hit Shador or something. The one of them linemen gonna fight, and they want to get our penalties. Because they know what they watching us fight every play in practice. They already know the buttons to push. Our receivers will fight. Coach Prime said he wanted to fight. You better have a meeting because they gonna be trying to provoke this team to fight all season. Every time they beat them to death, they gonna try to provoke y'all into a fight. Because that's the only way they gonna beat you. Because you got too many weapons on offense. And if your coach is smart, which I believe he is, he gonna use them weapons. And Colorado gonna run up on people 14, 21 points. And they're gonna have to pull some shady stuff up to keep the game close. And they're gonna have to call back touchdowns because somebody hit somebody after the play, call back intentional foul or something, and they're gonna have to do it. They're gonna have. That's the only way they're gonna keep the game close. They're gonna be fine, and you best believe it's gonna be a brawl at Colorado State because they're already ready to fight them. I don't all the way blame them. That game not gonna be so much fighting because Colorado came in dirty, and Colorado know they can't beat them. So the only thing they're gonna be trying to do is hurt them and distract them. Because Colorado know good and doggone well they can't beat them. So the only thing they can do is cheap shot them, and they gonna be trying to cheap shot because that same coaches there, and a lot of them players gonna be there. And Colorado gonna go in ready to fight them because they got some new players in who coming in with an attitude ready to fight them too. So that game gonna be spicy already. But I'm telling y'all now, make sure y'all clip it, share it. The whole strategy against Colorado is gonna be how can we get them to get penalties. Last year, I don't think it was ironic that they was considered the most penalized team, most undisciplined. Well, who determined it? You the one throwing the flag. I ain't throwing the flag on myself. If you the one throwing the flag, then that means you're determining if I'm going to be the most penalty. Because from what I hear, they can throw a penalty every play on a hold. So if you just going to continue to hold me, but every time I halfway hold you, it's about to be we finally get a run. It's when we can't run the ball. The man busts a 10, 15-yard run. You in control of that, not me. You decided to throw that penalty. You decided to throw that penalty on when we finally get a run. Now our running game is they say, how y'all running game is 20 yards? Well, we had 3 penalties. Every time we got a long run, y'all threw a penalty. We might would have had 100-yard rushing. Every time we ran a 20, 30-yard run, y'all threw a penalty. And we end up second and 15, second and 20. That's the issue. And you can't control that. Glad to have you, Emmett. We're glad to have you. We soldiers over here. I mean, we talk football on this level. You know, I'm not necessarily doing a lot of film breakdown, but I can. But man, when this season comes, we here. We here talking about the game, talking about what happened, talking about what could be. Everybody's free in the chat. Drop your chat. I mean, we breaking this thing down. And you know, it may be some things that I do different, you know, and grow as a channel. But man, this season is going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be spicy, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about. I'm talking about what's going to happen. I ain't even talking about what happened. You better believe somebody gonna get body slammed. Somebody gonna get kicked out the game. I mean, it's gonna be spicy because at the end of the day, I'm telling y'all, the only way these teams are gonna beat Colorado this year is Colorado got to beat themselves. And how do you beat themselves other than make it look like in themselves, but it's really you? So you say, well, y'all shouldn't have had 15 penalties. How does Colorado have double-digit penalties every game? Like I said in my video, I think it was live on Thursday with B Watts. And I was talking about how in the world do you get multiple 12 men on the field in one game? Like, I don't play ball my whole life. I ain't seen nobody get that many multiple 12 players on the field in the whole season. And we had about 3-4 of them in one game. I say it only makes sense because Colorado wanted to do this up-tempo offense. And every time they try to be all up-tempo, they act like they so want to get TV commercials, which was fine because it was prime TV. But I watched the doggone referee stand over the ball and make sure that the other team get in place before he blew the whistle. So they kept complaining, we can't do up-tempo because the ref over the ball. But clearly the ref wasn't standing over the ball when Colorado players were trying to get out the field. They, hurry up. They were ready to throw a flag. And you did it multiple times in one game. So clearly, either Colorado was retarded, the whole team and their coaches, because how was you standing over the ball and they still had multiple players on the field, unless you wasn't standing over the ball. You were standing over the ball to slow the offenses down, but you wasn't slowing the other team offense down because they ain't that slow, mentally or physically, to get 3-4 12-man on the field penalties. They practicing it. The coaches are not inexperienced. The players not inexperienced. You wasn't giving them time to get off the field like you was giving other team. So when you got weird stuff like that going on, it's like, oh, so you just trying to get in their head. And these penalties are putting the other team in scoring position. It's giving them extra yards. It's giving them, you finally stop them on third down. Now you get the penalty. You got them first and goal or first and 10. You doing weird stuff like that just to pick at this team. They got to be on point. But so do we. We got to point out the inconsistencies when they show up. We can't let them bully these boys. Because I want to see football. I don't want to see no stage crap. We can go watch WWE or something like that. We want to do that. I know football ain't all the way real, but it ain't wrestling. Y'all want to get a script, go write a movie. We want to see football. That's what we want to see. Now, I know some powers that be that want to script a lot of stuff, but we got to say so. We can't be dumb, and we can't just let it just be, robbing people of their destiny because you wants to play God. Like, is football not enough? Is this not enough God in it? Like, how much more do you need to just strip this experience? So we're gonna have a lot to talk about. I appreciate y'all being here. We done went almost double what we normally do. I'm sorry, we done had a good time. I don't talk twice as long as I normally talk, but hey, I guess we got to do it every now and then. Like I said, I appreciate you. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. We'll be back at it next week for another live. We've been doing a live with Bernard B. Watts on Thursday. See how that goes. And, got the inspiration motivation coming later on today. Got a couple videos throughout the week. So make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of that good stuff. Because this thing about to get hot. And I ain't just talking about outside. It's about to pick up. Maybe we'll talk about that. Who's going to battle? I try to tell it like it is. I do. We'll talk about that. Let's see. Maybe I'll put a vote what we should talk about next week. I'm still learning about the team, so I can't lie. But hey, we definitely gonna get into that. We got plenty of time for that, especially from week to week during the season. But appreciate y'all coming through, and I'll be talking to y'all soon. Y'all have a good one.